Alright, it's been a long time since I've done a deck profile, and I decided I'd do one, so I'm going to do a deck profile on my Mystic Piper deck. It's really fun to play. It's fun to watch your opponent cry when you just draw, and then draw like a boss monster, drop it, win. So, yeah, go through some of the basic plays. I mean, everyone should know how the deck works. It's not that underground. It's at least it was popular. I mean, it's probably not as popular anymore now that it's getting overshadowed by new stuff like windups and insectors, but for me it's always going to be fun to play. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go through all the level 1 monsters first. Obviously you run your 3 Mystic Pipers. Whenever you draw, you drop him, you tribute him, you draw a card, reveal it, it's a level 1 monster, draw again. As easy, as simple as that. And you obviously run a ridiculous amount of level 1 monsters. The greatest card in existence, a Kinkabyo, and I will come back to this later and tell you why it's the greatest card in existence. Not only does it get your Mystic Piper back, but it makes another card in the deck very live. Plus, this plus a Mystic Piper, if it gets torrentialed or whatever, equals a Light in the Dark in your grave. Oh ho ho, would you look at that. Then you've got my 2 one-ofs, play Level Eater, just for an extra level 1, and it's fun eating levels, because Scrap Dragon's pretty generally easy to make and stuff like that. It's fun eating levels and shifting levels around and making different monsters. And then you've got your obvious, your Glow Up Bulb. Why not run it? It's a level 1 and it's easy to make, discardable for stuff. Why not? Then you've got your 2 Treeborn Frogs. Normally I'd only run 1, but I run a couple Monarchs, so running 2 is useful. They're pretty good in this deck. I mean, always have defense on the field. They're never dead, especially since you don't run traps. Main deck 2 Effect Veilers, and side deck the 3rd one. They're level 1s. Why not? They're light. You drop them, it's another light. Main deck 2 DD Crows, side a 3rd one. Useful. And they're darks. They're a hand trap, and they're dark, and Effect Veiler's light. More fuel for the fire. And then 2 Battle Faders, just because they're level 1 and they're easy to draw. And then you reveal it to your opponent, they know you have a Battle Fader. They're generally not going to attack unless they can get around it. And then, I'm going to get into my boss monsters here, the ones that I use. Anyways, the light ones, I got obviously BLS. Why wouldn't you? He's amazing. Easy to play in this deck. I run 2 Zaborg. Weird choice, but I just like his effect, and it baits out warnings, it baits out bottomless, stuff like that, and then I can drop BLS or drop Chaos Sorcerers or something, and it really helps me get around shit like that. I main deck 2 Cyber Dragons just because they're light and level 5. Special summon, then tribute off for a Monarch, whatever I need them for, they're there. And then my dark monsters, I run a Dark Arm Dragon, obviously. Why not? It's easy to get 3 darks in the grave, and manipulating your graveyard with this deck is way too easy. Gores, obviously, because I don't run traps, might as well. If I set something, it's generally an MST or a bluff. 2 Chaos Sorcerers. I'd run 3, but what's the point? You have a BLS, might as well run 2 Chaos Sorcerers and 1 BLS. There's no point in having 3 of these. Unless I had the room, which I really could fit better cards. 2 Trigodia, retarded, especially since your hand's always 6 cards or more. Makes him a beast. I mean, crash over anything. And then I run 2 Kais. I'd run a 3rd one, but I just don't really have the room. The deck's already 41 cards as it is. Anyways, getting into the spells, I run quite a few spells, actually. For draw power, you've got your Allure of Darkness. There's a lot of darks. Sometimes I don't need Battle Fader in my hand if I have Trigodia, so... 1 for 1, obviously, to get out you want your first turn Mystic Piper as soon as you can, because you want that draw, the engine to start going, so you've got your 1 for 1. Foolish Burial, the only common card in this deck. You drop your Treeborn, your Glow Up Bulb, anything you need. A light for Chaos Sorcerer would be less. You need something, you drop it. Your staple, Reborn, Darkhold, True Need. I mean, heavy, you don't need to explain that. Everyone should be running them in pretty much every deck. MSDs, because back row sucks. I only run 2 Duality, because sometimes I really do like to special summon, so can't complain. Duality's Duality. Helps me set up. And then, this is what I was going to get back to with Kinkabio. Creature Swap. The greatest card in this deck. You summon a Kinkabio, you bring back your Mystic Piper, and your opponent's like, oh, they've got a 400 attack spirit that's going to return to their hand. You creature swap. You take their Stardust, their I don't know, their 1900 Thunder King. You take something. You don't attack your Kinkabio with it. You end your turn. Kinkabio goes back to your hand. So you just creature swap for a free monster. What more could you ask for? So that's why I run 2 creature swaps. I'd run enemy controller, but in testing it's just not as good as it was in theory, so I decided to take it out, but it's in my side deck. But I don't really have a built side deck for this, so I'm not going to bother showing you, but I'll show you the extra deck. Anybody can play whatever they want, it's a preference really. So Formula, obviously, because you have so many level 1s. Magical Android, I just wanted a light level 5, or else I would be playing Hyper Librarian, but there's not really any point, you don't synchro that much. Catastor for a dark level 5, then you've got Gaia Knight, because I hate wasting my Bryanak, and he's pretty damn strong. Bryanak. Arcanite Magician, because it's funny when you drop your Chaos Sorcerer and they Veiler it and you go, okay, level 1 tuner, sync for this, pop 2 cards. Black Rose, because blowing up the field's nice. Stardust, because making this is a safe play, and who doesn't have a Stardust in their extra deck? Scrap Dragon, or sorry, Drago Fermento. It's fun to make. Level Eater, infinite pops every turn. I mean, it's like whoop 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 whoop. Just fun to make when you don't have a Stardust if you used it already. Dark End Dragon, again, pretty easy to make. Decent effect. I mean, if you can't pop your opponent's monster, send it to the graveyard. And Trish, again, ridiculously easy to make. So much fun. Gotta have it. Shooting Star Dragon, obviously. The best part about making this is when you creature swap for your opponent's Stardust with your Kinkabio, return Kinkabio, then next turn summon Kinkabio and get a level 1 tuner back, make Formula, and sync with their Stardust to make Shooting Star. That's funny. And then I have a lot of level 5s, so I run 1 Tyrus and 1 Adris, just because I had room in my extra deck. And a lot of level 5s, like I can Trag and then copy, I don't know, say a Cyber Dragon and have a face-up Zaborg because he's level 5 and Exceed. And then obviously the obligatory Chimera Tech, because I put it in my side deck when I'm main decking 2 Cyber Dragons. And then, you know, anyways, my token brigade, my Chibi brigade, and my Leon and flip side Umbreon tokens. So yeah, that's the deck. It's 41 cards. It's pretty decent. It's fun to play. I mean, can't complain. Your opponent cries when they see how much you've just plussed on them. I mean, sometimes you get unlucky and you draw something you don't need, but most of the time you end up drawing cards you need when you need them, and it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so far no complaints about the deck. I don't know if there's anything I would change, but I mean, if anyone wants to make suggestions, go right ahead. Yeah, it's just it's a fun deck, and I think I'll probably keep on playing it. I mean, I want that Hollow Foolish Burial, so I can hollow out the entire deck, but I'm not complaining. I don't want to drop a bunch of money on one card. I mean, I can wait. I don't really care, but yeah, it's a fun deck. I recommend trying it out, Dueling Network, whatever you want to do, but yeah, I like playing fun decks, and that's most definitely one of them. Anyways, until next time. Have fun.